I'm Super Antonio. And we're live. Greetings, friends. Happy Friday. Welcome to the weekend. How are you? We are doing a special samurai stream tonight. Everyone, all the bigger channels are streaming Assassin's Creed Shadows, and not enjoying it. You know, what's that called? Rage bait? You know, and the people who are watching are not enjoying, and they're getting giant, massive views because it's, you know, it's the latest game. It's the game of the moment. So I thought, why not play a game we actually like? That also has to do with some of the themes in the new game that we'll try not to get political about. So this is... I don't know what I'm doing right now. I don't remember the controls. I don't know where we are. I don't recall how to even summon the map right now. So we're just going to kind of fool around for a little bit, and then we'll do a mission. J-Lash with the thumbs ups. Appreciate you, friend. Thanks for being here. And also, Miko Herptile says, hello, Sadie. Super Antonio, mods, and everyone. Hello to you, friend. We are playing this game in Japanese as well, with subtitles to make it more authentic. I hope you enjoy it. But yeah, I don't remember this. You know, this is a super old playthrough from the second channel. If this does well, you know, if it gets likes and views and comments, I'll do a new playthrough of this game. Boli is here and says, hello, everyone, and Super Antonio. Greetings, Boli. Happy Friday. So we'll see how this does. Like, how do you climb? I wanted to climb on that rock. Couldn't figure it out. So I assume the last thing we did was clear out this camp, this Mongol camp. And now we're just kind of running around trying to remember how to call a horse. I know how to do it now. So, but if I start a new playthrough, if you guys like and subscribe, and this actually gets some views, I'll do a refresher course on it, you know, and like figure out, you know, controls and actually try to. I do recall that I was horrible at the bow. I couldn't figure out the bow in the first playthrough. Boli says, hope everyone is good tonight. Boli, I hope you are good tonight. And I'm doing quite well. Peter Walsdorf says, hello, everyone. Greetings to you, Peter. Thanks for being here. The Bad Honor commentary has been pushed to Saturday night, tomorrow night, at the same time. And then Sunday night we'll do LA Noire. And then I'm thinking, depending on the reaction to this playthrough, we might do Ghost of Tsushima on Saturday. Maybe. We'll see. Sadie's here. She's tired. Peter says, never played this game. It's a wonderful game, Peter. I love it. It's beautiful. We're going to read a little bit of the Wikipedia later. Okay, let's deal with these jokers. Fighting the Mongols. I mean, if you like swords and samurai, and it's a great game. It's a beautiful open world. It's not as immersive as RDR2, but it's gorgeous. These shield guys, I hate these shield guys. It's super hard to deal with. I don't really remember. You just have to keep bashing them bashing them until they drop their shield. And there's a combination of moves you can do on this specific guy that I don't recall, I don't remember. But I'll look it up. I'll try to figure it out. Miko says hello to J-Lash and Peter and Boli. Depending again on how this playthrough and live stream does. Got my green tea tonight. That's not our horse. It's just a random horse we found so we can ride around. Crafting in this game, as I recall, is pretty simplistic. It's just collecting supplies and then you can get weapon and armor upgrades. But this game didn't do well on the second channel. I don't know. Well, I'm very cynical these days about this channel's performance. So honestly, I don't expect this to do well on this channel either, but we have to try new things. We'll see what happens. It's an experiment. And life, my friends, is an experiment. Note the gold tie clip and the gold pocket square and the gold watch. This was our outfit for today. Our dog walking outfit. Me and Sadie saw a Cybertruck. And it was not vandalized. No one had keyed it or spray painted swastikas or dripped blood on it or set it on fire, which I was happy about. And then what people don't realize, it's like about these Cybertrucks and Teslas in general, is they have a thing called Sentry Mode, which is really cool, or it sounds really cool. It sounds like they're Transformers or, something out of RoboCop. But, they've got like a bunch of cameras. Every angle of this car is being videotaped and, uploaded to the cloud. So even if you completely destroyed the car, the evidence is still up there. And so I'm sure this Tesla truck, Cybertruck, was on Sentry Mode, so we gave him a little thumbs up and a smile. But the weird thing, and those videos are going viral of these people vandalizing these Teslas. And the thing is, it's not who you would expect. It's not like men in pretty sundresses, with blue hair. You get a couple of those, and those gentlemen are like facing serious jail time. But like there's people who are like just like casually keying the car as they walk by. You see that a lot, and they're adults, they're grown-ups, they're serious, like people in their 40s and 50s, people who have jobs and mortgages and relationships and and lives. They're not who you would expect to be committing felony vandalism, and it's against strangers, which is just seems, I don't know how you could ruin your life or potentially ruin your life. All that you have achieved, all that you have built up so far over this one moment of anger against that is not like going to, the object of your anger is Elon and our current president. And whoever randomly owns this car, you're just making them have a bad day. And, and that stranger has done nothing to you, just offended you by purchasing the wrong vehicle. It's so weird. And there's one that was really funny, where this guy in New York carved a swastika in a Tesla that's owned by a Jewish person. It's a Jewish Tesla. So I hope he gets charged with a hate crime because I like the irony of that. Well, and it's property damage, so really, who was hurt? But still, I don't understand it. I don't understand why they're doing it. I feel that it is somehow a reaction to all of the shoplifting videos that were popular last year that people were getting away with under the last administration. You could just run into a store and grab whatever you want and leave and do that with impunity. And I think that people still have that same attitude, not understanding that the culture has shifted and you're going to get prosecuted now. At any rate, We saw a Cybertruck today, and I thought about that on our walk. Ben says Ghost of Tsushima is pretty good. It certainly is. Peter says, you close to completing Red Dead 2 and L.A. Noire? Yes, we are. We only got like 5 or 6 streams left of both those games before we move on. Let's move on. These spear guys, there are specific like stances, like water, stone, elemental stances that you're supposed to do with against each of these guys, and I can't remember what they are right now. Benz is back and says it's been a while since you've been here. Yes, indeed it has. But we're still going. We're always here. Hacking and slashing. And at least I remembered the dodge. Jin Sakai, or in Japanese, Sakai Jin. It's a very pretty game. It's beautiful. If you like the Japanese aesthetic, which of course I do, you can also play it in, we're playing in Japanese, but you can also play it in black and white. If you want more of a cinematic Kurosawa type of vibe. Miko says hi to Benz. Ben says if you've enjoyed Ghost, then Sekiro is another great one. The old Japanese feel. Yes, well, everyone's playing AC Shadows right now. So I thought we could play a little bit of Ghost of Tsushima. See how that goes. Not our horse. And there's random livestock. You can kind of hunt in this game. Not really. It doesn't really do anything. Again, for raw materials. Don't really have to eat. Just have rations. And the great thing, instead of straight lining it, if you stay on the trails, if you stick on the trails, you're almost guaranteed some sort of event. Like every 2 minutes, something will happen. So it's really good for like videos, or just for action, I guess. But see, here's somebody, but I couldn't figure out how to get in here. Couldn't remember. At any rate, I thought I would read a little bit of the Wikipedia about this game so you could have a background. Because there were some quotes here I liked. Fox stated that the 3 pillars of the game's combat were mud, blood, and steel. And yeah, you can get seriously dirty and covered in blood in this. The team wanted the game to be grounded and visceral and challenging. Fox added that they strove to keep sword fights deadly so that each combat encounter would be reminiscent of those seen in samurai movies. Yeah, and that's another thing is the combat is it feels very authentic. Peter asks, is this going to be a new playthrough series are you doing? I don't know, Peter. We shall see how it does. So right now it's an experiment, Peter. Mama One and Papa One are here. Everyone say hi to Mama One and Papa One. We're playing Ghost of Tsushima tonight, Mama One and Papa One, just as a response to all the bigger gamers playing Assassin's Creed Shadows, where we're going to play as an actual Japanese samurai, playing the game in Japanese. I hate these spear guys. And we'll see how it does. But yeah, if it does well, I'll do a playthrough. Sure, why not? I love this game. But it did not do well on the second channel. I did a playthrough on the second channel. So I don't necessarily expect it to do well on this channel, but you know, let's try. Nico says, the only thing I know about this game is it has an emotional scene like in Red Dead Redemption 2. Yeah, it's a lot like Red Dead Redemption 2 in that way. I do like our game more. It's more immersive than this game. But this game is beautiful. The world is beautiful. There's just not much to do in this world apart from getting into fights. Cloudy's here. Cloudy says, howdy y'all. Greetings, Cloudy. Early testers complained that the enemies were sword sponges. Don't like that term, i.e. they absorbed a large amount of damage before they died, breaking immersion. The team responded to this by adding hit points and armor points, but ultimately decided that all enemies would be defeated by a certain number of hits. Interesting. So all you have to do is spam square or triangle to get these guys. Health of enemies would not change regardless of the selected difficulty. Instead, enemies would adopt more defensive tactics such as parrying and blocking at higher difficulties. The stagger system, which allowed players to break their enemies' defenses while remaining offensive, was introduced. Yeah, that's what you got to do with those shield guys. You just kind of hammer at them until they finally drop the shield, and then you can move on. Cloudy says, I like the game, but the story is overrated. Yes, I agree, Cloudy. You know, it's not much of a story, but all you're doing is repelling invaders, which is fine. One of the goals of the studio was to create a beautiful, serene, and nature-filled open world feudal Japan, which they did. There just isn't that much to do. And this became the thumbnail for tonight. I really wish we could ring that bell. There, figured out the map. Thank you. Blood on the grass. Mama One says, I've heard Ghost of Tsushima is a great story. It's a pretty good story. It's not as good as Arthur's story, of course, but it's a very simplistic story. We're following this guy, Jinsakai, as he, his island, Tsushima, which is an actual island in Japan, has been invaded by the Mongol army. And he pretty much has to recruit rebellion, and fight back, and also rescue his lord, who has been captured and is held in a castle. See, I can't remember how to climb right now. That's what Jin is trying to do. Mom One, don't worry about spell checks. I knew what you meant. Tsushima. It's interesting that the developers of this game were awarded with honorary ambassadorships from the island of Tsushima. and the developers of Assassin's Creed Shadow have gained a complaint from the Prime Minister of Japan protesting their game and the historical inaccuracies and also the disrespect of the culture, where they're like they're trashing national monuments in the game, rewriting history. Sadie's had enough of this. Papa One asks, how are the horses in this game? They're mediocre, Papa One. They are certainly not. You can't really... You can pick colors and you can kind of name them. But, you know, there are only 3 types of horses. They don't really list the breeds. And those horses appear randomly. I picked the white one because he was the most ghost-like. But yeah, you can get a white one, a black one, or a brown one. And they have that little fringe headband. I'm not sure what that's about. I guess it's Japanese. Also, you don't really have to worry about them sustaining any battle damage. It's not like the NPCs or the enemies will take it out on your horse. So you don't really have to worry about the horse. But I also, just because I have Red Dead reflexes, I don't take that horse into battle. You have to follow the wind. Once you like put everything on your map, but we should deal with these people first. Boom! Did that for these spear guys. Papa One says, I've never been into samurais and stuff. My son used to be into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but about the only samurai movie I like is The Last Samurai. That's a good one, Tom Cruise. Yeah. If you get that red X, just get out of the way. Don't even try. I mean, there's ways to parry it, which I haven't figured out, or I don't recall. But we got a point. Pick up some supplies. Mom once says, are you an Assassin's Creed fan? Not, yes and no. I played Valhalla, which I loved, but it is, you know, I don't like the sci-fi aspect to it. I don't understand it. Genetic memory, and, you know, it's like, that is just, it's strange to me. And I never got into it, so. Oh, I also played, Black Flag. Is that the one? The pirate one? I played that one too. I've got both those games around here somewhere, but so I like them okay, but I think we did an Assassin's Creed Valhalla playthrough on the second channel, as I recall. And if you follow that bird, which we did not follow, they lead to something. I do not recall what. Cloudy says there is a village in Shirakawago that looks like straight from The Hobbit. Interesting. That's the Japanese for you. They enjoy them. they enjoy their movie references. Mama One says, this seems like it could be a fun series. We'll see, Mama One. We'll see how it does on the replays and the views. So maybe we're thinking about it, but basically it was a response to everyone doing Assassin's Creed Shadows playthrough. There's a British streamer I watch, Heels versus Babyface, and he was doing a live stream playing this game. Ironically, while I was doing my gameplay, which is how I like to watch live streams. And he's the one who kind of inspired me to do this, to try this playthrough tonight. For your info, the Bad Honor commentary will be tomorrow night, and then LA Noire will be on Sunday. Here we go. Gotta deal with these bandits and rest and get the food. Ben says, I've been watching Serena's Mafia playthrough, or Mama One says, I've been watching Serena's Mafia playthrough. I'm almost finished with Mafia 2. Have you heard from Serena, Mama One? I hope she's doing well. I haven't heard from her in a while. Ben's got a new sword, but we can't really talk about weapons in real life on live streams, Ben's. Or I can't talk about it. You can talk about whatever you want in the chat. Okay, where's the rice? Gotta get the rice back to that lady who lied. She's a little liar. Miko says she's still uploading videos regularly. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I always give her a like, and I should just like leave a comment asking how she's doing. But I hope she's doing well. Miko, what are you playing these days? I know there's a Jurassic World game. You could play that where you get to design your own park. Because, you know, if you like herptiles, you probably like giant herptiles. Oh, this is interesting. Going back to the Wikipedia, the team did not intend to create a one-to-one recreation of Tsushima Island. While the in-game landmass is geographically the same shape, Sucker Punch took the liberty of creating the game's individual biomes, ensuring that each region is artistically distinct, which is true. This allowed the team to create a unique identity for each area, allowing players to recognize them easily, even when viewed from afar. This is achieved through the use of bold and vibrant colors when modeling nature. Yeah, it's a beautiful, exquisite game. The team also chose the dominant foliage in each area and significantly exaggerated its presence, creating little pockets of massive boldness and beauty. For instance, the team focused on orange and yellow hues for the trees when they were creating the Golden Forest, one of the game's locations. It's beautiful there, instead of including all types of trees that would realistically grow there. Connell described these locations as one's imagination of what an area would look like and the perfect photographer's dream. Yes, there is a photographically element to this artistic aesthetic element. It's a beautiful game. I would argue like the world is prettier than Red Dead Redemption 2. It's just not as immersive. I love smashing those shoji screens. I have a shoji screen. Aw. They don't smash that easily. Red 2 says, hi, greetings, Red 2. Mom One says, I absolutely love Sucker Punch games due to playing Sly Cooper with my son. Yeah, I played that Jurassic World game with my nephew. That's why I know about it. And Miko says, I am still playing Red Dead Redemption 2 only. Ride or die. Well, this channel is kind of ride or die. Papa One says the peasant lady was lying, then promises not to lie again. I can guarantee she is going to lie again. LOL. Yeah, Papa One. She's a little liar. So this is the trader in this game. And you can buy stuff from him, and you can also craft stuff. You can do some weapons or wardrobe upgrades. There's actually an armorer too that you can craft swords and armor from. Cloudy says, I love the wind mechanics in Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah, I was explaining that earlier. I don't like that tiger sword. It's too Mongol. That instead of following a map, you know, a head-up display, like in our game, you have to follow the wind. So you set the destination on the map, and then the wind will just like give you the direction. It's clever, and it is immersive in its own way. Though I am used to just set a destination and calculate the route and show me on the map. Let's put on a helmet because we're going to go into battle, and then a war mask. The Glowering Warrior. And that turquoise armor is upgraded. I do recall that we had to buy that. Papa One says, I love video games set in ancient times, even though I'm not particularly a samurai fan. I must admit I enjoyed Assassin's Creed when you got to fight the Redcoats during the Revolution. Yeah, it's historical. Also, you can collect things on the horse, like these supplies. You don't have to dismount to collect things. Not like that. Yeah, they Assassin's Creed, the franchise, used to be good. Maybe it'll get good again, but I don't have a good feeling about the current state of video games. These flowers are the currency in this game are flowers. You can buy whatever you need with these flowers. Why? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. So anytime you see those red flowers, you gotta grab them because you're gonna need them. Cloudy says, I think that was Assassin's Creed 3, Papa One. They also did the French Revolution, as I recall. And then, back to the Wikipedia. I like this. According to Fleming, everything in Japan tends to celebrate negative space, which is minimalism, basically. As a result, the team pushed for simplicity from the design of the game's architecture and interiors. and to the minimalistic heads-up display. Yeah. Here, let me move this. Let's not move that. See, you don't get a heads-up display. I mean, really, you just get this. The game will give you like little clues on where you are, what you're supposed to be doing. Blood on the grass. Connell added that the art and environment teams had a hard time switching to Ghost of Tsushima after working for 9 years on the infamous games, which featured a punk rock visual style. Shadow of the Colossus and The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild both inspired the game's minimalistic landscape and aesthetic, though the team strived to have more photorealistic visuals to highlight the game's picturesque setting. Most of the game was designed to be serene and tranquil, I agree, so that it more sharply contrasted with the moments of violence throughout the game's combat and story. Yeah, I never noticed that before, but it's true. I just kept saying how pretty the game is. Bamboo, you need that. But yeah, the juxtaposition of just this serene landscape and the brutal violence is really cool. Very cinematic. Straw hats. The game included Kurosawa mode, a black and white filter with film grain and adjusted audio, created to honor the legendary Akira Kurosawa and his influential samurai films. Jin's armor were heavily inspired by the armor designs of Kamikura and the Heian periods. These armors were designed to be bulky and colorful, radiating a sense of regality, while contrasting with the darker and more agile Ghost outfit. Ghost is kind of his ninja mode. The team intentionally avoided the traditional assassin design in which characters are dressed in all black, fully clothed clothing for the Ghost outfit in order to make it appear more realistic. Parts of some outfits, such as capes and tassels, respond to the wind, further connecting the player and Jin to the game's world. Mama once says, "My kitchen is officially finished, by the way. I celebrated by making bison steaks cooked rare, 2 baked potatoes, some green beans, some cornbread, and peanut butter Reese's pie. Homemade." That sounds delicious, Mama one. And congratulations on your new kitchen. Papa one says, "One thing about war back in the samurai times, war was a lot more fair in those times, based more on skill instead of technology." Yeah, skill and strategy, I would agree. But, it's basically hand-to-hand. They had ranged weapons. They had bows. And they kind of had firearms. But, they were bulky and inaccurate, and they had to be reloaded. You got, like, one shot. It was like pirates. These round shields are a pain, but they're not as much of a pain as those brutes with the rectangle shields. Yeah, depending on how this does, depending on how much likes we get, or if people comment and say if you would like me to play this game, do a playthrough. Happy to. Because remember nothing about it. Very little, very minimal. It's completely gone from my cache. So it would be fun to start a new playthrough and just start over. Do the tutorials again. I think we're probably about a third through the game right now. Papa One says some war takes skill these days, such as sniping and other stuff. But I mean, look at how far we've come from the Civil War to even World War One. Much less the Iraq and Afghan wars. Back in the early time, a slight wound could cause infection, which would lead to death. For ages, more people died of illness and infection from injuries than actual on the battlefield. Yes, I agree. Mom One says, I'm actually enjoying this. I hope you keep this up. Give it a few episodes. We'll see. We'll see, Mama One. Yeah, I read about some kind of innovation that came out in Iraq, where you can load a wound with like some kind of foam that just like that that just kind of like stops all the bleeding, cuts off all the capillaries and everything, and it's sterile. And you put that on in the battlefield, and then they they ship you to the hospital, the MASH unit, or back to Germany, and then they can pick it out. The surgeons can pick it out and fix you up, and it dramatically improves your rate of survival. And I think that's really cool. That's a great innovation, and I don't know if it's passed down to civilian life yet. I haven't heard about it. What's it called? Let's Google medical foam. Closed cell polyethylene foam. It's called a foam dressing. Yeah, it's on Amazon. Med Pride foam dressing 6x6. It's only $7. Pop One says, that's interesting. Could have used that stuff in Vietnam. Yes, indeed, Papa One. Cloudy says, Super Antonio, did you ever complete The Witcher 3? Yes, I did, but not on this channel. Witcher Wednesdays, we used to do that. And they did horribly. So sad. I love that game. I love The Witcher 3 more than this game. It's like Witcher 3 literally is my second favorite game. And see, even Sadie enjoys Witcher 3 because she came back. She came back to say hi to Mama One and Papa One. Papa One, we saw a Cybertruck today on the walk. And so it's like, because they have got cameras that are running all the time, so I gave them a thumbs up and a smile. Because they've been getting so much negative press lately. Got the potent canine bait for Sadie. She's a little tired, Miko. The Straw Hat Encampment. So these guys are Ronin basically, and they're just the guerrilla fighters. I don't like how they dress. We get a straw hat outfit because we have to deal with these guys for a little bit. You have to work with them, as I recall. See, grab that. These hats, they always remind me of Big Trouble in Little China, but they look kind of ridiculous, I think. Cloudy says, would we ever get a Sims 4 stream? I don't know, Cloudy. That's a girl game. I don't know if it would do well on this channel, honestly. But what is there to do in Sims? Except, like, you know, decorate your house and... I don't know. I would play Animal Crossing before I'd play Sims, I think, because I loved Animal Crossing. I was so enchanted and charmed by the playthrough for Animal Crossing during COVID. Ronin attire. See, that's what we got now. And a weathered straw hat, but I don't like it as much as... There's like a... I think it's called a patchwork hat. That I like that one more. Can't really use a war mask with this outfit. Cloudy says, I made every Red Dead 2 character in The Sims. You should load that up. I didn't know you could customize. There, the straw patchwork hat. I like that one better. I mean, if we have to have this outfit for now. Not really good at switching between those bombs and swords. See, still can't figure out how to climb. It's not square. Let's move on. We've opened up a lot of the map. Yes, he is, Papa One. His name is Jin Sakai, or in Japanese, Sakai Jin. And he has a short sword and a long sword, but he just uses the long sword. Long sword is a katana. The short sword is called the wakizashi, or wazikashi. I forget. And, but yeah, he usually just uses the long sword. And then traditionally they carried a third one called a tanto. You've heard of the tanto blade, of course. And that was like a dagger that's even shorter. And you use that for... That's kind of like your hunting knife. But he's got a bunch. I mean, he's got throwing knives, and he's got arrows and bombs that I don't know how to deal with. Mama asked, Cloudy, do you have a channel? And Cloudy says, I never uploaded a Sims 4 video, Mama One. And Papa One says, oh, Miko, I meant to update you on Daphne, the Dutch warm blood. Her rain rot has almost completely cleared up. She is almost ready to get back into the saddle. She is such a wonderful horse. That's good news. That bird really wants us to follow. Papa One says, we are trying to decide if we wish to sell her as a pet or use her as a therapy horse. She was mainly a pet riding horse for her previous owner, the one who ended up surrendering her to the rescue. I vote for therapy horse because she would do more good. And Miko says, that's great, Papa One. And that's enough of the stream for Sadie, who is smelling a little interesting. It occurred to me that she might enjoy how she smells now, because she's smelling more dog-like, and that might be just more interesting to the other dogs she encounters. Here comes a bear, but we're not going to deal with the bear. Pop One says the previous owner was an elderly man in South Carolina. He originally had her for his grandchildren, but as grandchildren grew older, they had no interest in her. That's sad. And apparently the man got older and sicker, so he couldn't care for her properly. So he did the right thing. And Miko agrees a therapy horse would be a great job for her. And Miko says, "Peace out to Sadie." She's gone. She's already in her crate. Papa One says, or Mama One says, "I guess she will be a therapy horse." Papa One. I just think she would do more good. She could put more good out in the world, and the more good you put out in the world, if you can allow me to be a little bit hippie-ish, the more good you put out, the more good you get back. Mama One and Papa One, and you two put out a lot of good in the world. Now, I honestly believe that from just life experience. Another reason why I would never vandalize a Tesla or any vehicle. I'd never get angry enough, even if you had like a Ku Klux Klan flag and I love Pearl Harbor and, you know, on your car, I wouldn't key your car. You know, it's like, why? But it's very hard to offend me anyways, I guess. I wouldn't throw my life away, which is what these people seem to be doing. You get points if you follow these fox dens, and for charm slots, which those are like your talismans. I forget what they do, and sometimes you get to pet the fox, as I recall, and that's kind of fun. Pop One says, "I know several groups who work with therapy horses. Some are in our state and others are out of state, but I'm sure one of them would be interested in her." Yeah, I knew, my mom, when she was getting her infusions, there were therapy dogs that would come in. And I just thought that would, I toyed with the idea of doing that with Sadie, like sending her to training or training her to be able to do that. But and I understand that, to give back, because I really appreciate how those dogs offered comfort to my mother, but I don't think I could personally do that. Just emotionally, I don't think I could handle it. And I don't want to do that with Sadie, honestly. I don't think I could handle it emotionally. But I have a lot of respect for it. And so Sadie gets just to live her life. Her job, such as it is to be a co-host on this channel. She's not very good at it. And also to be a dog. And I hope I think she's enjoying her life. Pop One says, "I appreciate the kind words, Super Antonio. It means the world to us that you enjoy our company. We are two old folks who feel that our online family gives us a new meaning to life. We may be old, but we ain't done yet," to quote Dutch. No, you're not, Papa One, and we're happy to have you here. We're honored. Singing crickets is more of that's more of a Chinese tradition. Is they would keep crickets in these really ornate, beautiful bamboo cages. These tiny little cages that you could carry around, and they would chirp. People collect those. I know. I've seen them. They're gorgeous. They're like lacquered, and they're just, yeah, exquisite is how I describe them. But yeah, we can collect all these things, which we didn't really do. We were going to completely lose the plot on this mission. We're supposed to steal a boat, and I got distracted by all the fighting. Mom one says, we enjoy helping others, Super Antonio. My goal for each day is to make the world a little better each day. Even if I make one person smile, that's one more happy moment in life. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I encourage everyone we encounter, if they stop, I ask, I say that, that Sadie's friendly and you can pet her if you want. And, 9 times out of 10, they want to. And I think that just like puts a little more happiness into the world and makes their day, and sometimes at the end of the day, some people who stop they look so tired after their day, they're coming home from work, but you get to pet a friendly dog who smiles at you. And that's got to feel good for a moment, just to take you out of your way, out of your space. Boli says, Papa One and Mama One, you are good people. We wish more people were like you. And Mama One says, thank you, Boli. We are blessed to have you and the entire gang in our lives. Cloudy says, how much Scooby snacks do you give Sadie for being on your stream? You would think it's a lot, but it's not really, because I break them up. She doesn't know that I do that. I rarely give her a full one, because I can break this into like 6 pieces. So she's coming back, because... See, so I gave her like 1/6 of a potent canine bait. But she rarely gets a full treat. Papa One says, means more to me than you know, Boli. Thanks so much. We're happy to have you here, Papa One and Mama One. You add a lot to the community and the chat. And I literally couldn't do it without you. So we got to sneak by these guys, which I don't remember how to do. I don't remember stealth mode. And as I recall, I wasn't very good at stealth mode first playthrough. So we had to try this a couple times. And you would think that if we're discovered, we could probably like fight our way through to the tower, but we cannot. You have to keep doing it. Miko says, who knows? If Daphne interacts with children, she may get them interested to work with horses as well. Yeah. See, I don't know why we can't climb this fallen log and then sneak over the roofs. I recall we were able to do something like that. That won't work. Papa One says, one day I met this guy who was an older man. This was in the 90s, and he always had a little chihuahua named Sophie, who he would take everywhere with him. There was the homeless guy in town he was known for being mean and just plain angry all the time, but he would always smile when Sophie and the owner would walk by. Despite having very little, he would give Sophie what little food he had. Yeah, you see that all the time. Humanity. It's a natural instinct to want to take care of someone, to nurture, and it adds a lot to your life. I mean, she adds so much to my life. I can't imagine life without her. I don't want to. Papa One continues, he would often talk to her and tell her how pretty she was. He interacted with them for years, and as the time passed, the homeless man became nicer and nicer. Okay, third time's the charm. If we can sneak in. See, I'm trying. Jin's trying to climb up that fallen log. Because you'd think we could climb up that and then stealth onto the roof. That'd be like, then drop down. Also, I might be confusing this game with Assassin's Creed. Very accurate how he sheathes his sword. You have to run the edge around your thumb, and then you can like... I know how to do that. Papa One continues, one day the owner asked why he decided to start talking to him and Sophie, and even mentioned he was being nicer to the town. The homeless man replied, I had a 5-year-old daughter named Sophie, and she passed away at age 5 from cancer. That's sad. Okay, sneak in. And then this kind of reminds me of the oil fields, or not the oil fields, the tobacco fields. Because all you have to do is run behind these guys. They just have to be turned around and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Ever since, Papa One continues, he had hated life and humanity, believing they were all against him. But that Sophie the Chihuahua, no matter how mean or hateful he was, showed him love and kindness. He said it felt like his daughter had sent Sophie to him to show that love and God existed and still loved him. That's nice. I feel the same way. She adds so much love to my life. Way more than I deserve. And I'm grateful every day. Now we have to light the fires of Gondor to signal to all the Straw Hat guys, and then they'll attack, and then we just go down and just clean up. Sit, wait. Stay. We got about, I don't know, 20 more minutes left. Papa One says, Miko, that would actually be amazing. This is my whole life's mission to leave the next generation a respect and love for horses. Yeah, see, we just dropped a smoke grenade by accident, and that's more of a stealth tactic. It'd be nice if we could sneak up behind those giant shield guys, but can't really. Papa One says, my son loves horses, but he always wanted to be in the cigar industry, but he says he wants to carry on the family business. I told him that horses will always be there, but while he's a young man... to be continued with Papa One. So actually, what we're doing here is trying to raid for food and supplies, and there will be no food and supplies. But as a young man, Papa One continues, I want him to explore his dreams. And just know that whatever or wherever life takes him, his dad is rooting for him and will always be there waiting to welcome him home. That's nice. That's the way it should be. That's how my parents were. That's how my dad was. I agree. I was lucky and blessed. Nico says, for sure, Papa One, it must be passed on. I don't see how that hat would be helpful in combat, because it cuts off most of your, it cuts off all of your peripheral vision. It kind of looks cool. It also reminds me of Raiden from Mortal Kombat. It's a Raiden hat. But I like the one we're wearing better. Okay, this is the mission where we have to steal a boat. That is not going to work. Because Jin gets distracted by the fighting. I started getting into the fighting at this point. And and Arthur could just shoot everyone and then steal the boat. But I think we're actually supposed to stealth down there and steal the boat. Spoiler alert, we didn't steal the boat. Papa One says, I hope that one day, even though you all may not be in the horse industry, I hope I've left you all with love and cherished memories of horses. Because if I have done so, I will be immortal. Yes, indeed, Papa One. This is becoming your legacy. And that's the great thing about the internet, is you can touch so many more lives than you could in the past. It's the blessing and the curse. Okay, we follow him down there. Actually, we have to take this path. Free supplies. Those will come in handy. Then we wait for the signal, and then what we really should have done is run to the boat, but we don't do that. Spoiler alert. You can also upgrade the swords so they cause more damage. And I recall that we did. So we're using a better than, we're using the bolt action equivalent of the sword. But I cannot recall what we did or all the stuff that we collected to upgrade it. And again, the strategies involved in fighting these guys. I'm just kind of winging it. I'm just kind of improvising. So you just kind of keep hitting him until they drop the shield. and then dodge the archers. They always call out before they shoot. And there, use the Tanto blade for that one, Papa One. Mama One says, we are having a horse sale tomorrow. We have a lot of horses for sale. We are also selling ducks and rabbits as well. We're hoping to sell at least 10 horses to several horse jockeys. Bashing, bashing, bashing. See, we weren't supposed to go up here. We're getting distracted. And you can't run through fire. You will get damaged. It will damage your health. I guess it does in our game too, but... And not this boat, Jin Sakai. He's trying to figure out how to climb up on that thing. Miko says, I wouldn't have liked Red Dead Redemption 2 as much if it wasn't for the horses. Same, I agree. These days I just ride around, not really doing missions as much. Just riding and listening to the horses' footsteps. Footsteps, yeah. That's a nice sound. It's comforting. Mom One continues, we are hoping to sell to Amish people, an Amish community in Tennessee we work with, are huge buyers of Arabians. They also use a lot of Belgian draft horses to plow the crops. Amish love those and shires, and Miko says, just like Super Antonio's ambient ride around the map videos. Yeah, I was doing that for a while. I stopped. What's that about? I was seriously thinking about doing that with every horse. Pop One says, yes, Amish use mainly Arabians and Frisians for their horses and buggies, and then use the larger draft horses for work. Depends on the community and their rules on which breeds and colors of horses. Very satisfying to get those guys. He set that one on fire, but that was only because he walked through the fire. Pop One continues, they can use, I've seen where some Amish communities won't allow Arabians and thoroughbreds. Some won't allow all white horses or say they are too prideful. But other communities aren't so strict and allow whatever. And Miko says, hope you have good sales and new connections, Mama One. Yeah, you can't say a white horse is prideful. It's not the horse's fault. I suppose they think it inspires pride in humans because you have an all-white horse. That's about all we got for you tonight. Let me call Sadie back. Appreciate all of you. And let me know in the comments and with the likes if you enjoyed this playthrough. And if you would like me to do a full playthrough of this game. But yeah, it was an experiment. Here's a little Arthur for you riding around. I'll leave the chat going for a while. Shout out to the mods, Mama One and Pop One and Miko. Thank you for being here, friends. It's great talking to you. I missed you guys. Red Dead, the Red Dead Bad Honor commentary will return tomorrow night on Saturday, and then we shall do L.A. Noire on Sunday. Miko prefers horses with patterns on their coats. That's because I was going to make a reptile reference, but I don't know enough about reptile patterns. At any rate, I appreciate all of you. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you again tomorrow night. Great to see you, friends. See you soon.